Greetings. I'm sorry if the lighting's a little off. For some reason, my camera does not want to focus without the light over there just being obnoxiously bright. And I'm sorry if you can hear random sounds. I have a kitten on my desk and she keeps attacking things. Today I will be telling you about my May reading stats. So May was not as good as April, but I don't think we're ever going to be topping April, so that's fine. Hang on. Oh, she is. She's so small. But I did participate in a readathon in May, which kind of made me more motivated to pick up books. I feel a slump coming on, but I have stacked my TBR with amazing books for June, so hopefully that will keep me from going into like a proper slump. And hopefully I will get lots of good books read. Anyway, I'm here to talk to you about my stats. So in May I read 20 books, a total of 6,927 pages, which is an average of 346, which is slightly smaller than other months. But I did read a couple of shorter books that I really enjoyed, so it's no loss. I will be focusing more on bigger books in June. So, you know, some months I might read shorter books, some months I might read longer books. I've got my little book here. I read 3 biographies, which usually I only read like maybe 1 a year, but 3 in 1 month. 2 of those were like graphic novel, biographical ones. That's Persepolis is how I think you say it, and Mouse. So very difficult reads, but like really important reads. I read 1 non-fiction book, so trying to keep on the sort of keeping on the non-fiction reading. I'm trying to read like 1 a month, sort of just to keep up with learning new things. That one was really good. That one was it was called An Immense World. It's all about like animals and evolution and stuff, which is a topic I like a lot. 3 contemporaries. 2 of them were like contemporary fantasy type things. It's like a contemporary, but the characters are ghosts, but they're not actually ghosts, so it was hard to categorize those 2. 8 fantasy, so that was my biggest sort of reading genre, which it usually is. I am a fantasy reader primarily, love me some fantasy. And then the other 5 were sci-fi. I managed to get my hands on a couple of the Murderbot diary books, and I read a couple of other ones. The age categories, so I read 7 that had no age category. Those were like the biography ones and the non-fiction. 1 middle grade, taking a bit of a step back, because the Keeper of the Lost City series is coming to the end. I have 1.5 books to read that is currently out, and then I am in the crowd of waiting for the next book. And also this one had a long hold at my library, so only 1 middle grade. 3 YA and 9 adult. So again, moving more into the adult. The YA is sort of like catching up on books that I wanted to get to maybe more years ago than I have done. But I've read them now, and you know, sometimes you find some really good YA. Like a few months ago I read The Prison Healer. Oh, that's a good YA series. And speaking of good series, this month I read 12 4 stars, 8 5 stars. So overall, a really good rated month. Some of those were 3.5 stars, but they always round up to 4 stars because I feel like people, you know, it's nice to give them the extra boost. 10 audios and 10 physical. So no mixed, no ebooks, just half and half this month. Which I think I've read a lot more physical books this month than I have in previous months. A few of those were the sort of graphic novels, so maybe not totally half and half, but physical is physical. A lot of those were from my library as well. I like to joke that I'm single-handedly keeping my library alive. I feel like I'm down there every week. Notable mentions. So a couple of the best books, or notable mentions, because I'm not going to go through all of the 5 stars I read. Alloy of Law. I say I'm quite low down in my Brandon Sanderson journey, but I've read the first Mistborn trilogy, I've read Elantris, I've read Warbreaker. I'm kind of a bit out of order, but I've read those. I just haven't read the second era Mistborn books and the Stormlight books. And I've heard from a lot of places that the second era, so the first book is the Alloy of Law, I've heard that those books aren't the best. And I've heard that they're not everyone's cup of tea. And so I went into it, I started reading it, and I loved it. It was so fun. The humour is... a lot of people complain about his humour, but I found... There's a hair on my nose. I found that his humour was really good. I liked it. It was very action-packed, fun, fast. It was really short compared to some of his other books, so I just had a blast of a time, and I can't wait to read the rest. But I don't know whether I want to read the Stormlight books, but the first 3 at least, and then finish off the second era Mistborn, and then maybe go back. I don't know. I've got a list. I'm gonna have a look at my list, and I'm gonna see what's the best order. At the moment, I'm reading some of the stories in the Arcanum Unbound, which I probably should have got to previously. So I'm catching up on those, and I'm having a good time. So yeah, that's exciting. The next one is the Sad Ghost Club. Now this is the one where it's they're ghosts, but they're not really ghosts. So they're ghosts in the sense that they are people who feel like people maybe don't notice them or don't understand them, and people just walk by them, so they're like ghosts, but they're not actually ghosts. And it's a graphic novel. There's 3 books. I've read the first 2. I have never felt so seen. Well, maybe once or twice, but recently. I've never felt so seen, especially in a graphic novel. And I'm I've said these literal things in my life, which was spooky. But I was this is all of my thoughts and feelings in a book. And I'm that, when you get a connection that's just special. That series, I'm gonna have to, because I've picked up from my library, I'm gonna have to get my own copy. But yeah, that was good. And then the third honourable mention is The Great Hunt, which is the second Wheel of Time book. The first Wheel of Time book, I got a bit confused. I got a bit lost at some points. Parts dragged a bit, and I liked it mostly for the most part, but I didn't love it. The second book I thought was a huge improvement. I am really getting to like the characters. I'm finding they've grown, even though it's only been 1 book, and they're starting to make their own decisions, and it's just gotten a lot more exciting. And I'm excited to see where it goes. So when I read the first book, I was like, ooh, 14 books. Am I going to love it? I didn't love the first one. Is it going to be a big waste of time? But after reading the second one, I am much more invested. I'm much more excited. And I can't wait to continue. I've in fact already started the third book, and I will hopefully be reading that soon. There is a live show on one of the booktube channels I watch, and I'm hoping to sort of be there in like the live chat, sort of with everyone else, having our thoughts and theories and just having a good old chat. But that's on Sunday, so I have like 600 pages to read before Sunday, and that's quite a lot considering I am quite busy on Saturday. So we will see. But that is my May stats. I had a great time. The readathon was really good. It was the Escape the Readathon. We were all like, there were 4 teams, we were in a haunted house, and you had to like read different book prompts to unlock doors and stuff. My team won, which was great. I've never been in a readathon where my team has won. So that was exciting. And I've just had a great time just being on Sprints. Sprints is like it's a live stream where you have like 45 minutes of reading and then 15 minutes where everyone chats, and it's just kept me motivated throughout the month, and it's sort of been nice to sort of have someone there even though you're not talking to them directly, and, you know, just telling everyone what you're reading and stuff. It's good fun. So I hope everyone else is having a good reading month, reading year. This month is June. So at the end of this month I will do my stats, and then I will do my half year stats. So hopefully people are excited for that, because I know I am. Let me know, as always, if there are any specific stats you want to know about, if there's anything else I should talk about in these. I hope you enjoy them. I know not everyone's into stats, so hopefully you'll be looking out for my more meatier reviews. And hopefully I will see you in the next episode. Bye.